Hey everyone, welcome back to my cooking channel. So today I'm going to be showing you my Mexican rice recipe. This rice is so good you can pair it with absolutely anything. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using two pretty large sized garlic cloves and I'm going to go ahead and dice them fairly finely. I also have a half of a white onion and I'm going to cut that in 4 pieces. Now you can use yellow onion or red onion for this particular dish. It just provides a slightly different flavor, but nonetheless the flavor is still amazing. So use whichever onion you prefer to cook with. And I'm just cutting those up in 4 pieces there. In a nice saucepan, I'm going to be adding olive oil. This is about 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil. I go slightly or heavy on the olive oil because I want the rice to be moist. As soon as that starts heating up, I'm going to add the onion, and I'm also going to add the diced up garlic. We want to stir this around a little bit. You just want it to release its flavor in the oil, and then we're going to go ahead and add our rice. So I leave this by itself for a good 30-40 seconds, and then I start stirring it so that it starts browning on all sides and just really gets that oil nice and flavorful. Now for this particular batch, I'm going to be doing 2 cups of rice. I find that 2 cups of rice is perfect for a family of 4, 2 kids and 2 adults, and then I always have a little bit left over for the following day. So 2 cups is just the perfect amount. Like I said, if you have a family, if you don't and you just kind of are cooking rice for yourself, then cut this recipe in half. You'll end up making 1 cup of rice opposed to 2. Now, as I'm sauteing the rice on one pan, on this other pan here, I have my water heating up. It just makes everything quicker instead of adding cold water. You want to add the water fairly hot. That way, you can go ahead and cover it up and let it cook. So here I'm still mixing. Don't leave this unattended because your rice will burn. And you can see it's turning a nice kind of golden brown color, not burnt because I keep stirring, but you do want it to get that little light brown. Now I'm going to add my can of tomato sauce. All measurements and amounts are going to be in the description bar below for you guys. You already know I always put all the details at the bottom. That way when you guys decide to make my recipes, it's easier for you to refer to. Now here I'm going to mix this all in, and I'm letting that tomato sauce kind of cook. I want it to cook a little bit. So just keep stirring, keep mixing. Your water on the other side should be nice and hot. It doesn't have to be boiling as long as it's hot. Here you can go ahead and add it to your rice. The amount of water will also be in the description bar below just for easier reference. Now I'm going to stir all of this in, make sure that none of my rice is clumped up. Sometimes it does clump up when you add the tomato sauce, so just stir that really well. And now here we're going to be ready to season. Add some yummy, yummy flavor to this rice water, and then once it's all cooked, it's going to be delicious. So I'm going to start with a heaping tablespoon of sea salt, and then I'm doing a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. I had the tiniest bit of garlic powder with parsley on this container, so I added the rest of it, about a teaspoon, and then a teaspoon of onion powder, and then just a pinch of oregano. Mix that in very, very well. And now what you want is you want your rice to come up to a boil before you go ahead and cover it up. So what I did is I just put the temperature up, the heat up to about a medium high. Since the water is already hot, it will take no time for it to start boiling, as you can see now. So as soon as it hits that nice little boil, you want to cover up your rice and then turn the heat as low as your stove goes without cutting off, obviously. That's going to make sure that it cooks nice and slow and that you get some really delicious rice. All right, I see that boil coming up right about now. That's perfect. We're going to cover, lower the heat to low, very, very low, and then you're going to leave it for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, you should be looking like this. And you're going to go in there and mix everything. You see how the water is kind of pooling on the outside of the rice? You want to mix that in so that your rice is cooking evenly. Alright, so here you go, 10 minutes in, stir everything nicely, go ahead and cover it back up, and you're going to let it cook for another 10 to 12 minutes. This is what we look like about 10 to 12 minutes after. You want to go in one more time and kind of break all of the rice apart, get those edges, get those corners, and here you can kind of tell that the rice is almost done, but not quite there. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, mix it all in. Take a look, you can see what it looks like now. And then I'm going to cover it with the heat turned off, and I'm going to leave it there for about 20-30 minutes. The residual heat of the pan is going to continue to cook that little bit rest that's left. You can see here, this was about 20 minutes after I cut the heat off. You can see it's a lot fluffier, and that now the rice is fully cooked just with the remaining heat, no extra heat. Now I'm just kind of separating the rice, fluffy, making it fluffy, and just unsticking it from the bottom to get it ready to serve. So this is how I make my Mexican rice. Look at how delicious and fluffy and amazing this looks. It's full of flavor. It's not very difficult to make. So go ahead and make sure that you guys try this recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.